What is up, guys? Today, I just want to talk about thank you. So first, I want to start off saying thank you for everyone who's watched the videos, the clips I post, and even if it's only like 2 people who watch it, I think that's something that I'm very grateful for. Because honestly, going into this, it's just something that's just fun to do. Something I always wanted to do, so it feels pretty good to actually be doing it instead of like always talking about it. And yeah, I just want to say that thank you. But today I was trying to think of something to like really watch and kind of just, well, I was thinking of something to watch like for while I was eating earlier. I was thinking about what can I talk about in like a video, because that's like when I do videos and clips, I like to go more in depth in my videos. So I think today just like talk about like them times where like you're really into your head and it feels like doing anything just feels like a tedious task, and you're like, man, like I really just don't like, today's not it, you know? Today is not the day. I ain't want to deal with nothing. Or, you know, even when you're driving or you're walking around, you kind of have like this little it's like a pouty face, you know what I'm saying? Or just like, you know, you don't really feel like smiling. You're just like, man, fuck this. You know, I've been there, so I get it. I understand how that feels, especially because, you know, you really love to feel that way. Like there's a certain mindset that you kind of attain when you've been in that little negative mindset, that you're kind of like, okay, well, this is life and this is what it is and that's it. That is not true. That is not true at all. And I think, you know, when I was really deep into it, this is why I feel like I could talk about this, and I was really just deep into my shit, like depression and just in a terrible mindset. You know, I was like, man, this is awesome being in this mindset. It sounds stupid, you know, it really is looking back, but that's truthfully what you think, you know, and you're just like in that mindset of like, I don't care, fuck everything, fuck this, screw everything. Like, it sounds edgy and corny, but you know, you think it's like, oh, that's not me or that. Like, oh man, I'm not like that. But then you kind of like sometimes replay what you say or you hear what you tell others, and like, man, dude, I do kind of sound like that shit. So, you know, it's you know, taking the moments to just be grateful, appreciative of just any little thing, dude. Like, it doesn't even have to be like something that so like, you don't have to be thinking of like, all the time I got an achievement for finding out a cure to something, or, you know, like just some, like, it don't gotta be anything remotely close to that. I just think like sometimes when you realize you haven't smiled like all day, or you just kind of feel like you've been just like meh, just smile. Like, seriously, like, it's one of the first things I started doing was like a while, like years ago, and I like read it, and I remember watching like a YouTube video, because I love watching YouTube, and I like watching mental health stuff like that. And the dude was like, oh, he was a teacher at a school here in the US, and he was like, he goes, yeah, like my life's not going too well, but he's like, one thing is, I don't want to like not bring a smile to these kids' faces, or, you know, to work, you know, to his coworkers, obviously, you know, he's other colleagues, you know, teachers and stuff. And he said it helps improve it, and I was like, man, like, no way that actually works. Yeah, it fucking does. It does, it really does. Like, you don't think so? And I'm not saying magically gonna be like fucking walking around skipping and everywhere and shit, but then you are gonna feel a difference when you force yourself to smile. It's as if like you trick your brain into being like, oh well, maybe I am cool, like maybe I am good, I don't maybe what am I bugging about? And you kind of like see your mood improving. It's really a trippy thing how the mind just works when you're just like in certain mindsets to things. And yeah, just be grateful for any little thing, you know, for the people you have around you. If you do have people around you, which you know, you always have that one person, and if you don't, you got me. You know, I'm always full down to, you know, talk. Just send me a DM, and I really want you to get better. I think that's just that person that I really want you to be able to be better and reach a moment in yourself where you're like, oh, I'm starting to feel okay. Like, that's all I want. Because life, I understand everything in the world's going crazy, but still being able to find the light, even if it's the tiniest bit, just helps you out so much. Because believe it or not, being in that little negative mindset really does deter you from doing everything, and, you know, it makes you stop reaching your potential. Now, I'm not here to say you can't feel anything, and that's not what I'm going at here, but there's a point to yourself where you gotta ask yourself, okay, how long has it been? Am I dwelling too hard? Am I just, getting off, not getting off, but just like, am I really just enjoying being in this mindset now? Like, am I just dragging it? Because you really do nerf yourself when you just stay in that little negative mindset. And I think that's just something that, like, I've, thanks be to the man upstairs and wherever your higher power is, that I was able to kind of get through that and be in a such better mindset than I ever was. And I'm not perfect at all, everyone has their moments, but it, with knowledge and with what you can learn from others and reading and all that stuff, you realize, like, there's certain ways to make the damage less, where the damage is not as bad. And I think being aware of what you can do when you have that episode of just doubt and just depression, you could have different ways to combat that instead of just self harm or whatever it may be, your substance abuse or putting yourself down. Just be nicer to yourself. And I think be grateful too, because I think we all be grateful for the if you have a roof over your head, or grateful for the Wi-Fi that you have to watch a video, or anything. Just find anything to be grateful about, because I think that's what it's all about. Like, finding these little things to be grateful is the main thing about this video. Is just like, I've had numerous times where I take things for granted and I go, wow, like, who am I to be thinking that I deserve this? Because I don't, no one deserves anything. There's some people in this world who would do anything to be who you are right now. Even in your head, you're like, no one would. There's someone who would, I promise you. And let's write out something that you be grateful for, or think about a certain someone or whoever who you're very thankful for. I'll be honest with you. Recently, I've met some great people that I've been able to play Overwatch with and have like a good time, and people who support me just for being me. And like I said, I'm not perfect. No one is either. But I think just being thankful and being grateful for anything, any little bit will help with that little episode you go through. And I promise you, just try smiling, even when you absolutely don't feel like, even if it fucking hurts you to do it, just do it. And another thing I'd say is, don't let no one or anything overwhelm your mind to the point where you just feel like that's all you're thinking about, because it's easy to do that as well. Just take a moment, smile for me, write it down, whatever the hell you need to do, because there's no point. Don't waste your energy being this negative person no more. I promise you, it's delaying you from being who you really are and your full potential. Because I'm grateful, I'll now go a little bit by myself. I'm grateful because I've had many opportunities in my life to be around these great people, my friends I've met over the years, people who truthfully support me, my family, everyone. And even while I was in such a terrible mindset and I wasn't a good person, and it made me real grateful to still have them around, because they love you, and it's because they want to see you get better, and I want to see you get better. I think the majority of the biggest thing, or the biggest story I could take that I'm trying to convey here, is that regardless of whatever the hell you're going through, there's someone who would do anything to be you. And taking those little small moments to be grateful for whatever will truthfully help your mindset and help you grow as a person. And that's just one of the many things you could do. But if I have to add my 2 cents, even more so, even my whole dollar to this thing, is just acknowledge those who've been there for you, and acknowledge yourself. Accept your feelings, yes, and I fully agree with that. There also has to be a point where you ask yourself, okay, maybe it's time for me to, acknowledge what I feel, and maybe take a day or take some, like 30 minutes, an hour, write down what you're grateful for, or who you appreciate around you, whether it be friends, whether it be anyone, anything. And just truthfully, you could do this. And I think anyone could do this. I'm grateful to even be able to just be here talking and be able to record and stuff like that. It feels good to have this. And But yeah, and I do want to talk about a little bit of just like my whole thing here, right? Sorry, a little bit earlier. It was kind of just like trying to think about how do I say this, but you know, my channel here and what I want to do is just promote mental health awareness and just, but like honestly, I'm just a dude, you know, I'm just a regular guy that's been through his fair share of things, and I just like talking about it because I think that I'm not the youngest person, but I feel like I'm still, you know, I'm barely in my mid-20s, and I do want to say, like, I think it's better to hear from someone closer to your age than an older person, in a sense of, because you could kind of relate a lot more, you know, from what's going on or what's going through your head. So it makes sense, and I think that's my whole point here. Is like, trust me, like I was in that generation of doing, you know, self-harm in the sense of like substance abuse and all that. Was like, yo, that's the shit, like let's do that. Like very, very bad, very, 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 very bad time. And yeah, so I think my main purpose on this whole channel is just like, and the whole page and my whole online presence, I would like it to be, is just about mental health. And it's funny, you're like probably like, oh well, he plays Overwatch. What though? I like, yeah, I get tilted, of course. Who doesn't? You know, it's Overwatch. But I think Overwatch is such a great game, and it's very, very stimulating, and I don't know, nothing else like it. So I use it a lot as a background because I just thoroughly enjoy this game. I really do. I don't really think I wouldn't really play games as much if it wasn't for probably for this game. I mean, maybe single player games, but I was thinking about maybe doing like a Silent Hill in the background, or while I like run through the fog for like 10-20 minutes just to kind of like talk over it, because I think that'd be kind of a cool difference. I might do that just for the one time, because I think I just got introduced to that series and it was so good. But yeah, I think my main priority is just talking about topics that I feel like no one really talks about, right? Like I think we all see this crazy gameplays or these crazy like montages, which is dope as shit. Like I do want to do my own. Don't get me wrong, I think they're badass. I am not here to say they're not badass or take credit away from them, but I think the other aspect of like, you know, your girlfriend broke up with you, or you know, not being in a negative mindset, how to recover from things mentally, how to just deal with things, or just know that there's other people who have problems. Like I think in my next one, I'll get a little, I'll get a little more personal, and I'll talk about little problems that I've gone through and how I've kind of, you know, really have improved a lot in certain areas. And of course, like everyone else, we're not perfect, and I have a lot of areas that I need to, you know, really start doing better in. But I think being able to be aware of those things is what I want to make everyone. I just want to make everyone more aware about. And if I could do that, even if it just means that I just talk about, you know, like the most random topic, or maybe a story that I've been through, or maybe a way to cope with things helps whoever, then I did my job, and I feel like I've done what I was meant to do. And that's just to be able to promote just better health, mental health, and just to be stronger, and honestly just be better as a person. You know, like just not all mental either. It's just to help you out. just to help feel that you're good, and that there's nothing wrong. There's, you know, you're not weird. You're not like, oh, like why is it always me? Like, you know, don't ever get that mindset. And that's what I'm trying to. That's the whole purpose of why I even want to do this online stuff. Just to show that, and honestly just have like good talks, and just, you know, and eventually, like I said, my plan for the next videos, and I'll just say it right now, it'll be open book. It's definitely going to be either story, what I went through, or something, maybe like a problem I went through, or just me rambling about something. And but most likely it's just going to be me talking about just like a topic, maybe it's something I've been through that I could maybe relate to others. And I probably will use Overwatch again. Like will probably use it for like probably like 80% of my stuff, because I just, you know, I mean, it's what I play, so might as well just use it. But yeah, let me know, or whoever watches this, or I'll see myself. Maybe I'll do one video, maybe definitely not this next one, but maybe like the future video I'll use like Silent Hill, or like just another game as the background or as the focus. But yeah, I don't know if I'll be doing, to be honest. Like I really do enjoy like watching like the Overwatch videos that like PGEs, Frogger, and Six. I like their videos. I don't know if I'd be able to, if I really not be able to. I just don't know if I really want to do that. I might just stream that. So if you really want to like watch me play the game, I'll most likely just be streaming it. I don't really think I want to do those type, but yeah. So just know that you're not alone, and just be grateful. Just be grateful. Find those little moments in those darkest of moments. Force a smile, and I promise you, your brain's gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, why is he smiling right now? And then you realize, wow, what am I tripping about, or why am I feeling so pouty? So, key takeaway here is just force that smile, even if it feels like it's painful to do. And I promise it'll help you out a lot. And it's carried me for the past 5 years. So, yeah. I want everyone to be okay and feel good in their own skin. And I hope I really put a smile on your face, or hopefully you could feel like you're not alone, because you're not. I don't want to ever let you feel alone. Even if you feel like you have no one, you have me. Alrighty. Bye bye.